The number of people with a security clearance is too dang high. Hi, it's Liddy Kaiser with clearancejobs.com. That is the message that's coming from Capitol Hill. Two pieces of legislation were introduced last week. We've kind of been waiting for that over at clearancejobs.com and across the national security hiring community. There's been a lot of talk about security clearance reform efforts in the wake of both the classified documents being found at the homes of former President Donald Trump, Joe Biden, Mike Pence, name your favorite political figure here, along with an uptick following alleged leaks by a Massachusetts National Guard airman, amplify those efforts, again, which were already in the works, to kind of look at our classification process, what is classified, and who has access to classified information. Again, two bills were released last week, the Sensible Classification Act and I already forgot the name of the other one, the Classification Reform Act of 2023, kind of calling out Section 9 of the Sensible Classification Act. It specifically states the sense of the Senate that the number of people with access to classified information is too high, and asks for something we've talked about at Clearance Jobs before, an audit of the cleared population and asking agencies to justify the number of clearances they have. I can speak from prior experience. Again, this is not the first time we've had desk audits. That at that time resulted in James Clapper, then ODNI, Director of National Intelligence, requested desk audits that resulted in a drop in the number of folks with security clearance eligibility from 5 million to 3 million, caused kind of a part of a snowball effect for the current very complex hiring environment we have now, where if you talk to a lot of the leading defense contractors today, they simply do not have enough personnel to fill key positions. It's an already tight market now, and that number is already lower than it was back in the 2015, 2016 timeframe when we saw those desk audits happening. So what I expect is, again, more tightening of the number of cleared personnel. I'm certainly hoping there's some pushback on this legislation, specifically, again, that one piece of it relating to desk audits, reducing the number of folks with the security clearance. We kind of wrote about it, Clearance Jobs. There's been huge chatter across the congressional community about saying there's 4 million people who have security clearances, that's too many. At the same time, kind of misuse of the terms and saying those people all have access to classified information. That's not the case. We released those figures over at Clearance Jobs from the PAC PMO, noting that they have the eligible and in-access populations are two different numbers. The in-access population is actually around 2 million, and we've seen a reduction in that, which we've been anxious about because we're worried graying of the workforce, fleeing of people into the commercial sector, that we're losing the number of folks who are interested in a national security career. A lot of nuance in this. Do you care? Maybe, maybe not. But if you're someone who's applying for a security clearance, which is a lot of the folks that are consuming our YouTube content, it's probably something you're kind of going to want to flag. If they're tightening the number of cleared positions, that simply means fewer billets, fewer new sponsored clearances. And what we basically do is we're kind of competing from this same incestuous talent pool where we have defense contractors just competing for the same talent. So I want more people into the cleared population, more people doing the work, unless you writ large change the way every government contract is written. We cannot turn this leaf over overnight. So there's overclassification pieces of that. Can I say it? I do think there's things that we can look at there in regards to overclassification. I'm a huge proponent of OSINT. I love the folks who are leading the charge on that, but I think we have to address the way contracts are written first, address overclassification, and then look at the human capital piece, because what I can say is working the human capital side of it, again, we right now just have a talent shortage. The current legislation will only make that problem worse. So you're looking to get yourself sponsored for a security clearance, buckle up. It's going to be an interesting ride. Still do it. Still, the process favors the patient. So go in, put your name in there. We have a lot of companies who are now willing to sponsor security clearances. So don't give up on this community, but I think there is some interesting chatter out there that, again, we'll be following over at Clearance Jobs. So for more on that, definitely check out our news site, our social media, and follow us all the places you can find us, because we'll be talking more about what's going on in the security clearance reform effort. This is just the beginning. There's going to be ongoing conversations, and stay tuned to Clearance Jobs to learn more.